You don't have to search very far to find horror stories about fires with aquarium equipment. These situations occur with surprising frequency, the damages are real and are often catastrophic. Watch this video and you will find out that there are in fact things you can do to prevent an aquarium heater failure and prevent loss of fish and damage to your home. The true stories of aquarium heater failures are easy to find. Do Google searches, go to aquarium forums, and go to YouTube, to name a few. Listed here are just a few examples from well-known forums. Likewise, the pictures of these aquarium fires abound on the internet, and these graphic images leave little to the imagination as far as the damage that can be done not only to your hobby, but also the risk to your home, your family, and your pocketbook. Not all of these aquarium fires and meltdowns are the result of heater malfunctions. However, heaters are the majority contributor to these type of catastrophes. So what are the major contributors to aquarium fires and meltdowns? Number 1, heater malfunction. Number 2, pump and motor burns out. And lastly, ballast burns out with fluorescent fixtures. So why do I feel the need to do a series on heater failures, and why do I feel so passionate about it? I've heard and read about many of the painful stories from aquarists via the internet chat rooms, YouTube videos, and Facebook. Most recently, many of you, I'm sure, have heard the tragic story of the king of DIY, Joey, and the loss of his stingrays. Closer to my own backyard, I have had 2 heater failures myself in the last 4 years, one of which did result in my losing some prized African cichlids and their aquarium. And one last story. About 2 years ago, there was a guy on YouTube, let's call him Bill for a moment, whose dream was to raise tilapia in a 500-gallon tank in his heated garage. I followed this guy's videos for several months while he set up the tank, bought the fish, and grew them out, only to hear one day that a heater exploded and to view the graphic pictures of 200 dead tilapia at the bottom of his tank. The really sad thing is that a lot of aquarists, like you and I, who lose their fish in aquariums and have to clean up the damage, then swear the hobby off and quit. Let me share with you what I found to be a common opinion about failure of aquarium heaters and equipment. Aquarium equipment fails all the time. There is no company or product out there that will never fail. Everything is prone to fail eventually, some things more than often. We can do everything we can to prevent it. At the end of the day, these things happen. While there may be an ounce of truth in this opinion, my video series is here to prove to you that you can reduce the risk of a catastrophic heater failure. I will be tackling the topic of heater failure in a 2-part series, of which this video is part 1, what make model we should buy, and part 2, a future video, will cover installation and maintenance of heaters in your aquarium. Before we get started and I have a chance to compare a couple of heater models, let's first ground ourselves in what is meant by a catastrophic heater failure. Catastrophic heater failure results in loss of fish, tank, equipment, personal property, or risk of injury and death to a person. Let's imagine for a moment that I'm an average aquarist and I want to buy a heater based on actual input from other hobbyists as far as which heater is less likely to result in a catastrophic failure. In this case, I go to Amazon and compare the Cobalt Neotheme series to the Eheim Jagger series of aquarium heaters. We can see that the Eheim has a slightly better rating based on customer reviews, and at least on the surface, both heater series look pretty darn good. Next, we dig down a little deeper and we look at the percentage of customer reviews that were bad. That is just 1 star for both heaters. 13% for Cobalt Neotherm and 8% for Eheim Jagger. Looks like Eheim is starting to pull ahead in a side-by-side comparison. Now, if we dig deeper yet and actually read the customer reviews, there's an amazing revelation. Nearly all the catastrophic failures were reported by hobbyists for the Cobalt Neotherm heater. Eheim 1-star ratings, by the way, were for the most part with difficulties with calibration and temperature control, but not catastrophic failures. To summarize my findings based on the details supplied by Amazon customers, we find some amazing and dramatic differences between the two heaters. Please read the slide, which gives a lot of information. Bottom line, the Cobalt heaters are 15 times as likely to experience a catastrophic failure as an Eheim heater. So what are the key takeaways, things we've learned from the information provided? The first takeaway is for mission-critical aquarium components like heaters, buyer beware. They can do a lot of damage if you pick the wrong brand or model. Second key takeaway is that information is readily available to help you determine heater failure rates. You can just go to Amazon.com for it. And lastly, informed heater brand selection can have a major impact on reducing your risk of a catastrophic heater failure. A few key questions I'd like to leave you with. Is your heater brand model reliable? Is it safe? And ask yourself the question, should it be replaced? Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you look forward to a follow-up video that I'll be doing on aquarium heater installation and maintenance, and how these areas also can help you reduce the possibility of a catastrophic heater failure.